Well, these you don't reef in. You just kind of snug them and you're done.
So that's 6, that's 7, 8. Oh, I'm turning it.
You're about 90 out.
It's like putting your pants on when you have shoes on.
A little bit. And then bolt it together, or do you want to weld it together?
Hey everyone, welcome back to drybonesgarage. This episode's part of a series where my dad and I take a 63 Corvair and turn it into a hot rod. In this video, we replaced the spark plugs and installed the distributor and the plug wires. So I hope you guys enjoy. Here I'm just checking the spark plug gaps. Is there a magnetic piece in here? Because I feel like the metal is almost like...
Pulling?
Yeah.
Could be.
Sticking to it sometimes. I think these all are at a decent length. Number 1. Oh, these look black. Is this charred from all the sparking it does?
Yeah, that's a lot of carbon.
Carbon buildup.
Yeah, this thing was stupid fat, couldn't get it leaned out. Now I bought a carb, but it's an El Cheapo version of an Edelbrock. We may put that on the Cutlass, or wait a minute. That thing's got a Summit carb on it. We may take the carb off the Cutlass and put it on here. We'll try with the one that I ordered. If it works, great. If it's garbage, well then we'll put it on the Cutlass.
Number 2.
Just to kind of cover the hole.
Did you loosen these up for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. They're a lot easier to take out.
Well, these you don't reef in. You just kind of snug them and you're done. Which reminds me, we're gonna do this real quick too while I'm thinking about it.
Are you gonna grease the new ones up?
I'm just gonna put a little dielectric grease on these things to keep the boots from. Oh
yeah, I remember doing something like that with Grandpa, and something with putting grease on them, and then these little booties connected to wires or something like that.
Yep, that should keep the boots from gluing themselves to these things.
Oh shit, I'm taking it out. I forgot. Oops. I'm trying not to snug these down too much. Is there only 2 on this side?
Nope.
No, why don't I see?
2 of them were broken off. You're probably...
Oh, right.
Overlooking them.
I need to screw those out. Hi, Belle. We don't know where the other distributor went.
You lost it.
I did.
I don't know where it is.
We tried looking for it everywhere and we couldn't find it. So Dad ended up having to buy a new one. I don't know why.
I still think you did something to it, chucked it in the garbage.
Why would I chuck it in the garbage?
I don't know.
He's giving me a look over here. Anyways, we bought a new one and it looks nice.
So shiny. That's just the JDM Speed. There's nothing fancy about it. But I've had good luck with JDM Speed in the past, so. You remember what you gotta do, right? To get this in?
I have to twist it in funky.
It's got to be pointed to what cylinder? Okay, so we're pointed at 6. So when this distributor goes back in, we need to make sure it's pointed at number 6.
6.
6. Okay, which one is 6?
Well, I don't completely remember. I just remember you asking me to take a picture.
How do they go?
I don't know. I'd have to watch the episode.
Take a guess.
6?
Yes, it's got to go to 6, but which one is which? Which one is 6?
I am not sure. Based on memory, wasn't it pointed somewhere like right here?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 6. That's 7, 8,
Mm-hmm.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
More or less, yep.
Okay.
You got it. See? You know more than you think you do.
So I'm supposed to take the thing off the hole, or
I already did that. I put
is that
some
what
assembly
this is?
lube on it. So all you need to do is drop it in there. But, okay, if you look inside there, that's going to drive your oil pump. Okay, in theory, nothing has moved. There's only one way this thing is going to settle in there. It could go one of two ways. You'll either be right or you'll be 180 degrees out. Okay, so just kind of set that down in there and feel around until that thing feels like it's seating fully. You'll know it's seated because this will be sitting flat on that ring right there. All right.
it'll be sitting flat.
Yeah, it'll be seated right on that.
Is this 6? Is it pointed the right way?
Right now it's pointed at 8. You're gonna.
Oh,
You're fine.
you just wiggle it in there.
Is that set fully? Where's that wire? There you go. Okay, that looks more like 8 than 6. Yeah, what the hey? All right, let's. Did this thing rotate a little bit?
I think I might have did that.
You did, okay. Because that shouldn't. Yeah. All right.
Do we need to do it again?
No. Well, we might, but if you rotated the motor.
You might have rotated that and that.
Rotated what?
The red thing and this.
Did this turn over at all when you were cleaning it?
It might have.
Okay, we'll roll with that for now. Once this thing's together, if we're not comfortable with things, or if we actually try and fire it doesn't work, we'll chase number 1.
I remember trying to maybe, but it didn't work, or like seeing if I could pull it and it not working too well.
Well, like I said, if this doesn't start, we'll chase top dead center on number 1. All right, and then we'll realign everything.
How much horsepower does it take to turn that once?
Not even to rotate the engine over. This is a mild one, kiddo. This might be 8.5 to 1 compression. There's not going to take, it's clean, it's in good shape. It's not going to take a lot of force to turn it over.
Did it just come in that color, or can you pick them out? The red?
It came that way. I wasn't.
Oh, well, good thing the engine's red then, because it matches.
Okay, you got that in there. Now put your cap on. No, we're not snug down because we're going to have to play with the timing at least on this thing. Nope.
No.
Nope. It's not going to fit that way.
Oh, I'm turning
You're
it.
about 90 out. Maybe we should snug that down for now. There it is.
Huzzah. So that's what we cut this for, the distributor.
Mm-hmm. Now those don't just screw down. You have to drive them down and rotate them in. Yeah. Here, watch this one. I'll let you do the other 3. Push it down. See that?
There, somehow.
And then there's a little, let's see.
Oh,
There's 2 more.
huh?
2 more.
Okay. There you go. Are those little booties that go into the spark plugs?
Yep.
Oh, they're matching it too.
It's so pretty.
It's a different type of red, but
That was purely accidental too. I thought those were going to be black.
that's cool. And then Grandpa said something about a firing order.
That's why I asked you about the rotation on that thing. If this thing does not run, we're going to have to actually crack it open and then chase number 1, top dead center.
So this carries electrical signal to the spark plugs?
To the spark plugs, yeah. I bought these for the Malibu actually, but when I got the wires that I ordered, JDM Speed, They actually came with those funky ends on them where they didn't need these, and I couldn't make them fit anyways. So I figured we can put them on your car, if they'll fit. I don't know if we'll be able to make this work or not. Oh yeah, this one.
It doesn't matter which end it goes into?
I don't see that it should.
It's like putting your pants on when you have shoes on.
A little bit, but these should help keep some of the heat from those headers off of these things.
Is the headers where the exhaust come out?
That's something we need to talk about. I don't particularly like the flange that's on these things. We have a couple different options. And if we should leave it like that, or pull it around over that 90. Actually, I kind of like this idea. Keeps it closer to the block.
Oh, it's like a little coat. It looks like a snake with a little headscarf.
I wonder if these were actually supposed to go the other way, but too late now. This is what we're doing. Ain't like they sent any directions along with these. Okay, your headers. Whilst I'm thinking about this, there's a couple different ways we can go. This is the sewer pipe you're getting. Alright, right at 3. So we could do a slip fit, bypass these rings. These are what, 2.5 like I thought. These aren't going to work with your sewer pipes, so these aren't going to work, period. We can go with some V-bands, put some 3-inch V-bands on there, or we can do a slip clamp. Question is how much fabrication do you want to do? I put the V-bands on the Malibu, though really the likelihood of needing those is kind of probably non-existent. You know, we're not swapping engines every other week. That car doesn't go to the drag strip. They look neat, but beyond that, I don't know that they're serving a purpose on that car. So the question is what are your thoughts? How do you want to put this thing together? Do you want to just use like those big wide stainless band clamps and then bolt it together, or do you want to weld it together?
My inclination would be to weld it together, but
glutton for punishment.
yeah, but at the same time, I don't think I'm all that great at it yet.
It's a lot of work, and you know, then there's the cost of.
But at the same time, you want to get it on the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be faster to clamp. I think.
For the most part, everything is built to be clamped together. This whole exhaust system is built to be clamped together. Now we can upscale it a little bit and use the wide band clamps versus the U-bolts. And that saves us a whole lot of Trimex and stainless wire in time for. Wait a second. Are we missing a boot? Did that thing only have 7? Or did they put a coil wire in here? 5. 7, 8, yeah.
There's 8?
There's 9.
Oh, what's up with that?
This must be a universal kit. They would add one for a coil, a separate coil. This thing doesn't have that though.
A separate coil? What does that mean?
On a standard points and condenser type ignition, a coil would be sitting likely bolted to the intake on a Chevy someplace, and then you'd have a wire running from that up to the top of the distributor.
Dad wrote the firing order on a sticky note for me, and I placed the plug wires down based on that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. Five, 6, 7, 8. If you enjoy what you're seeing, please make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Ta-da!
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some looming with these. Holy Moses, ridiculous.
Well, I tried using the shortest to longest.
Yeah, I know. This one I would have put back here, rather than whatever this is. Oh, I know what you did. You went backwards.
What did I do?
I would have used the longest ones first, and as I was working to the back side of the motor. That said, these are ridiculously generous, and they're, I don't feel like it's seated.
I didn't know what to do about that, or how do you know if they're seated or not?
I should put a little bit of that snot on this too.
I think Grandpa was struggling with that, with the boots or something.
They're a pain in the backside, but you know, that also keeps the water out. See that, how it's setting down now, about even with the top? On some cars, there's actually a ring that will
Determine.
no, lock in right here to hold everything down. I don't particularly like the way you've got these routed right now.
I didn't know what I was doing.
It's no thing, but that's kind of why I asked you to do it. Get a feel for it. You're out here watching a lot, but how much do you learn watching? See, this would have been a longer one. I'd be inclined to maybe grab this one right here, actually. All right, hook that one up.
Where's that one go?
Right here. Take that one. Remove.
Take the thing off?
Wait a second. Which one's longer? Holy Moses, these are all like ridiculous.
I can't tell, it looks the same.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? All right, we'll leave these alone. We're gonna have to get some clips or something, or make our own out of some zip ties or something, because these are
Ridiculous.
God, yeah, but they do the job. Nice. Actually, it might be nice with the headers, but for right now, we don't want to put those on. I did have it in my head for a while that we would, but I think we're gonna do, if we're gonna do those band clamps, there's no reason we can't. We'll just have to cut those flanges off of them and mount them. There's no reason we can't actually put the headers on right now. Well, not right now, we have to cut those flanges off, but we could throw those in the chop saw.
What's that?
Chop saw and cut those flanges off and then use those band clamps. We'll have to get some band clamps for this thing. 6, 8, 10 of them, at least 10, maybe 12. But we could literally mount those headers right now. There's nothing actually standing in the way of that. Though that said, I think I'd prefer to have that power steering pump. Water pump. Let's mount that up. Get that in the car. Get the headers in the car. Wire it up. That's done. Then we can put the thing in the air. Figure out what we need to do with the exhaust. Though I don't have band clamps, I don't think, for that exhaust. Have to go look in the rack. Say what?
Are we in the final stage of the build?
No.
Like putting it all together?
Yeah, we're starting to assemble this thing, but there's a mountain of work that still needs to be done before this thing is ready to turn over. We kind of need to decide what we're going to do with the exhaust. That tells us what we're going to do or not do with the gas tank. The fuel sending unit that's in that tank has to come out so I can put it in the Malibu. And we got to get a factory one in that tank, and we may have to modify it, hang it, plumb it. The brakes are plumbed. There's not a stitch of wire in the car yet. There's not anything as far as upholstery goes.
Hey, Dad. Do you remember when you said we wanted to get this car and just do a little bit on it before you realized that we need all this work, before you realized that the frames were rotten and the floor was? Are we around to that point now where you thought we would be at? I mean, like...
Do we have the same amount of work now
that
I was intending to put into this thing then?
Or that you thought was already in it?
No. We're still a ways off of that, but we're getting closer. You know, I literally thought we were going to throw a couple of Mexican blankets over the seats, butcher wire it. Well, maybe not butcher wire it, but just kind of hack the burnt section of the harness back together again, throw some brakes in it, and see if we could put it down the road or not. But the thing was so much worse off than I anticipated, and I knew it was bad when we brought it home. She was beyond cancered. I would have never done this if you weren't already invested in it, Oh, shiza. Well, the suspension is not fully in place on this thing yet. It's just kind of resting. And because of that, these A-arms are setting inboard a little bit farther than they should be, and that's interfering on that side with the header. So we can get this one on by the look of it, but we're going to have to get this thing in the air and deal with that before we can go any farther. Okay, we have interference. What do we have interference with? Or do we? I was afraid of that. We'll give that a love tap. I don't like that. The engine is biased to the curb side of the car, just a tick. We're going to have to figure this out. This is going to be a treat. We might want these long cables. Got to bring these in from underneath. I'm nervous about that steering column though. We might have to do some farting around with this. A little bit of what? Well, this cowl is setting low in relation to where G-bodies would be normally, because we took all of those pucks out and pads, or whatever you want to call the body bushings. So this thing's setting a good inch and a half lower in relation to the frame than it normally would, and that's changing the geometry here. And these are made for a G-body, and I'm seeing potential for some clearance issues with the column right here. We'll have to see how this develops as we keep rolling. Let's actually snug this up a little bit. I don't want to get too crazy with the English on these yet. We don't know these are in. When this thing's finally put together, we're going to have to go over every nut and every bolt.
Well, that's about it for this video. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I wish you guys a happy autumn, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching! Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good day. See you later, alligator. You're supposed to say after a while, crocodile.